Okay. Good evening, students. We are meeting after some time gap, but I'm sure in the meantime, you all have studied, you all have been in touch with the subject, you all have been in touch with our course, and also the topics that I've asked you to read. I'm sure you all have come read. So that now today, when I'm teaching you the topic, we are going deeper into the concepts. You will be much prepared because you have your doubts, your questions ready. So yes, very good evening, Surinder, Karan, Rashmi, Gaurav, Lavanya, Dhanlakshmi, Maithili, Sridhar, Vanshika, Aditi, everyone. Very, very, very good morning. Yes, Navneet. So, Prajot. So, students, we started this concept of place of supply. What is place of supply? So you always say GST is a destination-based consumption tax. Interestingly, entire GST law nowhere uses the word destination or consumption in the act or rules. Interesting. However, we always say GST is a destination-based consumption tax. So how is then this concept being provided in the law? It is provided by the name place of supply. So you can always say that place of supply is what is they are referring to destination or the place of consumption. So basically it is that state where your supply concludes. That state is your consumption or destination state, which is over here called as place of supply. Now this place of supply, whatever we are going to study, the provisions, the principles, it is entirely provided in the IGST law, and it is divided into four parts. Firstly, place of supply for goods, where the transaction is domestic supply of goods, or it is international, that is import export of goods. Second, place of supply of service, where it is either for domestic transaction of service or international transaction of service. And within that, we first covered section 11, which deals with place of supply of goods in case of import of export of goods, where for import of goods, the law says place of supply is the state where the importer is, whether registered or unregistered. So it is the place of importer. And second, in case of export, place of supply is the place outside India where the goods are dispatched. So now I'll unmute you, beta. Your name is not appearing. What's your name, beta?
सर विशाल अग्रवाल।
विशाल, तो बेटा आपका वो डैश क्यों आ रहा है? आप उसको नाम अगर एडिट करके चेंज कर सको तो नो
सर मैंने
प्रॉब्लम,
नाम दे दिया था। सर मेरे एक डाउट है सर।
प्लीज।
सर बीओएस पोर्टल में जो रूटीन दिया हुआ है सर फॉर सितंबर 2026 बोथ ग्रुप,
यस
सर उसमें रूटीन में इनकम टैक्स वाला शेड्यूल नहीं किया है सर, एंड पेपर नंबर 6 शेड्यूल नहीं किया हुआ है।
बेटा, दैट इज येट टू बी स्टार्टेड ना। सी,
नहीं सर,
व्हेन
वो
वी आस्क,
रूटीन रूटीन में भी लिखा हुआ नहीं है कि अप्रैल से स्टार्ट होगा ना कब से स्टार्ट होगा, मतलब
दैट इज
मेंशन
व्हाट आई एम सेइंग
नहीं
बेटा,
है।
दैट इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, दैट विल बी अपलोडेड सून। सो आपको अभी तक ये भी नहीं बताया ना कि कब से स्टार्ट होगा, राइट?
ओके सर।
Internally we have decided, but that we communicate after a particular date, so that will be uploaded, beta. See, understand this. This was asked by somebody else also in the previous class, Vishal, so I had answered the same thing. See what happens at inter level, you are first time in the life coming across very technical subjects like taxes, income tax, GST,
यस
then
सर।
audit, then costing, then FM. If we start all the topics at once, it will be virtually bouncer, and may not be even if bouncer, you will only understand it theoretically. We want our students not only to become a theoretical professional, but also the one who understand the subjects, who feel the subject. I always use this word, you should feel the subject, right?
ओके सर।
So that is why we are going step by step. So whatever subjects have started, see, accounts is something which you know, law is something which you have studied. So even if, let us say,
सर
you are having spare time, you can start reading those subjects. Modules are all hosted, right?
सर जैसे अभी अकाउंट्स का भी पूरा रूटीन दिया हुआ है, पर वो पहला 40 क्लास का ही दिया हुआ है, उसके बाद का सर नहीं दिया हुआ है।
तो बेटा मगर आप खुद से कोई भी टॉपिक उठा के पढ़ सकते हो ना, अकाउंट्स के तो बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट्स आप जानते हो, डेबिट क्रेडिट P&L बैलेंस शीट ये सब तो सेम
यस
रहने
सर,
वाला
यस
है।
सर। ओके सर।
करेक्ट।
सर
सो
और सर ऐप जो है बीओएस वाला जो ऐप है सर, उसमें से अभी मैं लाइव ज्वाइन करने का सोचा था, वो हुआ नहीं सर।
ओके बेटा, सो वो एक बार मैं टेक्निकल टीम को मैं इन्फॉर्म कर देता हूँ. So
ओके सर।
technical team, please check. Student has said that they are not able to join from the BOS app. And also technical team, kindly make the chat for everyone. Also,
ओके सर,
somebody has
थैंक यू सर।
requested WhatsApp group invite. So technical team, please help with all these things. One, make the chat enable for everyone because when student asks questions, it should be easy for everyone to understand what question I'm answering.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
due to security reason, we have disabled the chat for everyone.
बट सर ये बाकी क्लासेस में तो इसके प्रीवियस क्लास में भी चालू था ना.
सर प्रीवियस में
मतलब
चालू था, कल कुछ इश्यूज हुए हैं, उसके बाद ही हमने बंद किया.
अच्छा, कल इश्यूज हुए. ओ,
यस सर.
ठीक है. और एक कुछ स्टूडेंट को कुछ व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप इनवाइट चाहिए था, वो एक बार आप देख लीजिए, उनको भेज
यस सर, वो
दीजिएगा
हम
प्लीज.
शेयर कर दे. यस सर, वो हम शेयर कर दे रहे हैं.
और ये विशाल बोल रहा है कुछ इसको ज्वाइन करने में दिक्कत आ रही है लाइव, वो भी एक बार आप देख लीजिए. वो
किसको?
अपने बीओएस पोर्टल से विशाल अग्रवाल जो अभी.
सर फ्रॉम बीओएस ऐप सर।
ऐप पे दिक्कत आ रही है आपको?
यस सर, ऐप से सर खुल नहीं रहा है सर, बार बार रिजेक्ट हो जा रहा है।
एक काम कीजिए, ऐप का स्क्रीनशॉट लेके और आप हमें मेल कर दीजिए, ठीक है?
ओके सर।
और अपनी क्वेरी और
सर एक बार वो सर टेलीग्राम और व्हाट्सएप का लिंक भेजिए।
हाँ, वो हम शेयर कर रहे हैं.
ओके ओके सर,
और
थैंक यू
अपनी
सर।
क्वेरी और स्क्रीनशॉट लेके हमें मेल कर दीजिएगा. मेल आईडी हम
ओके सर।
चैट में मेंशन कर देना है.
ओके सर।
Sir, one more student has raised the same issue. She also cannot join through the BOS app. So maybe some issue is there. Karan
Yeah,
is also saying the
students
same.
who are facing the problem, please take the screenshot and mail to us. Okay, I'm sharing the mail ID on chat.
Perfect, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, students. So place of supply means now we have to decide for every transaction which state will be considered as your destination state. So place of supply is basically your destination state. So we have to decide the destination state, and that is what is the place of supply. So we are studying which state will be considered as the destination state. Yes, Aditi, I have unmuted you, beta.
So I wanted to know that an exporter of goods, the place of supply is outside India. So like in many countries, GST is not applicable. So in that case, what will be done?
See, that is what is the interesting part. Now, when for export of goods, we have said that place of supply is outside India. So technically does not mean that the GST of that country is applicable. In other words, we are saying that for us, for our GST, the place of supply is outside India, which indirectly means that GST should not be applicable. But we do not want export transaction to go unmatched, right? There should not be any fraud happening. So what we have done, we first levy GST even on export, but then we give them two options. One, either you export without paying the tax, so automatically you're not paying any tax, or second, if you pay the tax, you can apply and get the refund. So wherever the place of supply in case of export is falling outside India, you will study this in the topic of zero rated supplies later at final level. Or if you're interested, you can just read section 1616 of the IGST Act. So it simply says
Okay, so
that exports will be considered as zero rated supplies, which means that let us say your GST rate is 18. One is you consider it as zero rated means you don't pay any tax. You just report it in our returns that this is my export and I'm not paying any tax, which is called as export without payment of tax. Second, you first pay that 18% and you file refund application, you will automatically get the amount refunded in your bank again. So effectively, you don't pay tax in case of exports.
so before exporting the goods, we pay the GST and we file for the
That is the
refund.
second option. That is the second option. First, you don't pay GST, you directly export. Just
Okay.
maintain the documents accordingly, which is called as the first option, which is export without payment of GST.
Okay.
Correct? Second
Okay.
option is you first pay, and with GST will be applicable, IGST will be applicable. So you pay that IGST and then you get it back refunded.
Okay, got it, sir.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, Nisha has raised. So yes, Nisha, beta.
Sir, now only that In case of import of supply from outside India, there also zero rated supply.
नहीं बेटा, नहीं समझा आपका क्वेश्चन. कैन यू
तो
आस्क योर क्वेश्चन?
जैसे हम अब एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे थे, अभी तो अभी क्वेश्चन पूछा था, तो अगर हम इंपोर्ट करें तो तब भी नहीं लगेगा जीएसटी आउटसाइड इंडिया?
क्यों नहीं लगेगा बेटा? इंपोर्ट में तो प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई इंडिया ही है ना. आपका इंपोर्टर तो इंडिया में बैठा है, सो प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई इज सम स्टेट इन इंडिया. सो लेट अस से आप कहाँ से हो बेटा? वेयर आर यू फ्रॉम?
आई एम फ्रॉम यूपी.
नहीं, जगह का नाम.
गाजियाबाद.
So let us say the importer is from Ghaziabad, right?
यस सर.
So you have imported goods. Let us say you are importing the goods from UK because now India has already signed a free trade deal. So you have imported some UK made vehicle, let us say a two-wheeler, right? Now what does the law says? The place of supply is your place. That is the place of importer. So place of supply is India, which is Ghaziabad. And remember students, we do not use the word India. We are using the word taxable territory. So this we have studied the section 1 and the definition over there. This word had come. So taxable territory means where the tax is applicable. And what is that territory? It is India. So when you are importing goods, beta, GST is applicable. Correct?
ओके. सर एक डाउट है, जैसे सर आप हमारे चैप्टर्स कंप्लीट होते जा रहे, तो सर आप थोड़ा पीवीआई को आप डिस्कस कर लीजिए सर, कुछ
क्या
हमको भी
डिस्कस
आइडिया
करें
लगे.
बेटा? बताइए.
सर प्रीवियस ईयर्स.
प्रीवियस?
सर प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस.
बेटा वो कैसा होता है? वी हैव अ सेपरेट क्लास फॉर दैट. हम ना बाद में जब रिवीजन लेते हैं, वी टेक प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस और द एमटीपीज आरटीपी क्वेश्चंस इन दैट. इंस्टेड हम ये कर सकते हैं कि आपको सी एवरीथिंग इज पुट ऑन द जीएसटी पोर्टल, सॉरी नॉट जीएसटी पोर्टल, बीओएस पोर्टल, राइट?
यस सर.
तो आप ये कर सकते हो कि आप वहां से कोई भी पास्ट 2-3 एग्जाम्स के क्वेश्चंस, एमसीक्यूज, ये सारी चीजें वहां पे अपलोडेड है. यू विल गेट एमसीक्यू ऑल्सो. यू विल गेट योर दिस लोग एग्जाम्स के वक्त
सर डिस्क्रिप्टिव भी मतलब सब कुछ है अपलोड तो सर, लेकिन ये ना
एग्जैक्टली.
अटेम्प्ट कैसे करते हैं? जैसे एक दो क्वेश्चन आप जैसे क्लास में एक बार डिस्कस कर ले,
नो
एंड
वरीज
में
बेटा,
थोड़ा
दैट आई विल डिस्कस. नो वरीज, आई विल डिस्कस दैट बेटा.
थोड़ा हमें आइडिया लगेगा कैसे लिखते हैं, कैसे करते हैं ये चीज सर.
श्योर श्योर बेटा, आई विल टेक दैट बेटा.
ओके सर.
परफेक्ट. Perfect. Great. So students, let us proceed then. Now, we started studying place of supply provisions, and we have started studying place of supply for goods. Now in goods, there are two sections, section 10, section 11. I started with section 11 first. So let me just go through, show you the module, section 11. It is very easy, so nothing much is there. Sure. Okay. Fine. Students, so see, anyways, since 11 and 13, these two sections are dealing with international transactions, which is not much part of your syllabus. That is why section 11 and 19 are not in your module. But as I already explained, so that you should just know, you should not get confused. So I've already explained you section 11. Now we go to section 10. Now what is section 10 dealing with? Section 10 deals with domestic transactions, right? Now, what are domestic transactions? That is why you should first know section 11. So other than import export, all other transactions are domestic. So where neither you are importing goods from a place outside India into India, or neither you are exporting any goods from India to a place outside India, that is what is covered in section 10. So what is the heading? Section 10 says that what we are going to discuss here, place of supply of goods other than goods which are imported or which are exported. Now here you will find that under section 10 subsection 1, you are given 6 different scenarios: A, B, C, CA, D, and E. So there are 6 different scenarios given. Why? Because under different scenarios, different types of business transactions are covered. And for each type of business transaction, which place will be treated as place of supply? That is what is given. We will try to understand that. But before that, we'll study subsection 2. What it says, it simply says that we have covered 6 business transactions above. In case your place of supply is not determinable above, it shall be determined in such manner as may be prescribed. And remember, wherever the word as may be prescribed comes, you should refer to our rules. So as may be prescribed, wherever the word comes, you should know that you have to refer to the rules. So the point is, some place of supply provisions which may not get covered in these 6 cases, if any such provision or if any such situation comes, the government will provide the answer in by way of rules. As of now, no rules have been provided because virtually all scenarios are covered in these 6 cases. So now let me take you to these 6 cases. So now we are on section 10, which is place of supply of goods. So whenever your transaction is of goods, right? And we are in domestic transactions. So you can say within India transactions. Now you have 6 scenarios. What are those 6 scenarios? Let us try to understand. Right? So scenario which is in clause A is what is a simple business transaction. Simple means not a special one as is covered in the others. A and B cover simple business transaction. The only difference is A covers scenario where only there are 2 persons or 2 parties. B covers transaction where there are 3 persons or 3 parties. This transaction is also called as bill to ship to transaction. So clause B covers bill to ship to transactions. Clause A covers regular transactions. What is covered in all these, we will discuss with practical examples so that you will understand. But both A and B cover simple regular business transactions, right? And then you have C, CA, D, E. So there are so many different types of transactions. I'll just show you broadly what are covered. So D covers wherever there is assembly or installation. E covers wherever goods are supplied on board. That is why you are in traveling and on or aircraft or the train, you buy certain goods. D covers supply of goods where the supply is made to an unregistered person. C covers supply where supply does not involve movement. So these are some special scenarios which are covered in the other clauses. Now, C is supply does not involve movement. See, I'll explain each one with practical examples so that you'll understand. This is what is called as is, where is. So this type of transaction is called as is, where is. Then supply to unregistered persons. That is what is clause CA. This is called as over the counter, OTC. Then here where installation or assembly, and this is SOG, supply of goods during travel. Let me call it like this, right? Now, let us go one by one. So 10.1a, 10.1b, both covers what? Let me call it as regular transactions. What are these regular transactions? These regular transactions are where supply involves movement. So let me take examples firstly of clause A. So example 1. This is supplier, this is recipient. Same supplier, recipient. Now, what are these examples? So I am in Nashik and I am supplying goods to a person who is in Pune. And I have to send goods from my Nashik factory to the person's godown or factory which is in Pune. So supply involves movement. First, you understand the meaning of this. So the supply is such where the goods will be moving from one place to another. Now, in this case, as per clause A, what is the place of supply? The place of supply, I'll write just here the provision. Place of supply is the place where movement terminates. So where is the movement terminating? Pune. So what is the place of supply? Pune. Second example, supplier. I'm the supplier. I'm in Nashik. I am selling goods to a person who is in Varanasi, which is Uttar Pradesh. Right? Now again, as per this rule, firstly, why I'm fitting in clause A? Because firstly, it is a regular transaction where there is a movement of goods. And most important, there are only two parties, as you can see, supplier and recipient. Now, in this case, what is the answer? What is the place of supply? Place of supply is place where your movement ends. So again, here where the movement ends at Varanasi. So the place of supply is Varanasi. Now here, which tax will be levied? Firstly, this is an intrastate transaction. This is an interstate transaction. Now, students, how do you decide whether the transaction is intrastate and interstate? That we are going to study later in this chapter, but just I'll start giving example from here itself. Yes. Type of transactions. So broadly, there are two types of transaction in GST. One is intrastate supply, and the other is interstate supply. Now, when a transaction is said to be intrastate supply, where location of supplier and the place of supply both are same state. Same state. So in my first example, location of supplier, that is my location, is what is Nashik, which is Maharashtra. The place of supply as per our section 10(1)(a) is Pune, Maharashtra. Both are falling in Maharashtra. So the first transaction is an intrastate supply. Second transaction, interstate supply. When this will happen? Location of supplier. In short, the place where the supplier is having business, and the place of supply that we decide from all these sections, they are not in the same state. So they are not in the same state. Or let me call it as different state. Like in my second example, location of supplier, which is my location, is Nashik, Maharashtra. Place of supply as per 10(1)(a) is falling in UP, Varanasi. So my second transaction is interstate supply. So just remember this rule, because this will come later in this chapter. But I thought that since this is covered in every transaction. Will determine this also. So coming back to my first case scenario. So I am the supplier. I am from Nashik, Maharashtra. Now, in first case, I have sold goods where I will be delivering or dispatching the goods to the recipient who is having his office in Pune, which is also in Maharashtra. So location of supplier is Nashik, place of supply as per 10(1)(a), because 10(1)(a) says what is the place of supply? It is the place where movement will end. So where the movement of the goods is ending, it is ending in Pune. Both are in Maharashtra. Who both? Place of supplier, that is location of supplier, and place of supply. Since both are in Maharashtra, we call it as an intrastate. And I'm sure you know, if it is intrastate, which tax will be levied? Half C and half S. So if it is 18%, then 9% C, 9% S. Second scenario, supplier, location supplier Nashik, which is Maharashtra. And since the delivery of the goods is terminating in Varanasi, which is in Uttar Pradesh. So now these are in different states. So the nature of transaction is interstate supply, and what type of tax we are going to levy? It is IGST. This is clear to all students? Anybody, any questions? Yes. So if it is in same state or in the same union territory, Rashmi, you're right, it will be intrastate. Yes, Vanshika. So place of supply and the location of supplier when falling in the same state, it is intrastate. Yes, Kari. Suchitra. Yes, Rashmi. No, Mansi. Now, Manisha, sorry. See, this is a very important point. Can we say that we are comparing two things? One is location of supplier and the other is location of recipient? The answer is no. See, had that been the case, you would not have required this whole chapter called as place of supply, because then you could have simply seen the location of supplier and location of recipient. Please pay attention, students, because in 75% cases, the place of supply which we are finalizing, which we are finding out in this chapter, is nothing but the location of recipient only. I agree to Manisha's point that location of recipient is place of supply, but that is only in 75% cases. As we will proceed, you will find that there are some transactions where location of recipient is something else, but the place of supply as per these sections, these clauses is different. That is where this whole chapter is very important. Had it been so easy, so easy that you determine interstate, intrastate by looking at location of supplier and location of recipient, then why we would have required the chapter of place of supply? So, but Manisha, you are right. 75% times location of recipient will be the place of supply. Like in both these cases, place of supply is location of recipient, but it may not be the case always. Fine. Great. Akhila says for export all movable and immovable is zero rated, sir. See, any export is immovable, whether it is of goods, whether it is of service, whether it is of movable, whether it is of immovable. But if it is immovable, how you are going to export, beta Akhila? That is my question. So even though theoretically what you are saying is correct, but if it is unmovable, immovable, how can you export anything which is immovable? It cannot be shipped to a country outside India, right? But you can say all transactions, whether of goods or of service, if it is export, it will be zero rated. So that way you are correct. Yes, Gaurav. Anil, you can say yes, you should focus on the exceptional cases, obviously. But then when you have to answer the question in the exam, you will be asked the question for all the cases. So at that time, you need to know all the cases, because like for example, 10(1)(a) is falling in the regular scenario because here recipient and location of recipient and place of supply are same place, that is Pune in first example and Varanasi in second example. So, okay, this is a regular case. I agree, Anil. But then in the exam, when this question will be asked, you will have to refer to this section only. So if you only focus on exceptional cases, you will not be able to write answer for all. Aditi, we have not yet come to the third party transaction. It is under clause B. I'm still in clause A where there are only two parties, right? Yes, you're right, Aditi. So this right now we are dealing with only the first scenario, that is clause A. When students? Okay. Now we come to clause B. Now, firstly, let us understand what is clause B transaction. Clause B is technically called as bill to ship to transaction. Okay. Now I'll be taking examples by taking some names from the list of people. I hope you will not mind if I consider any of you from the for the purpose of my example. So let us say I'll take example of Jash. Jash, where are you from, beta? Just text me the place so that my example will be more practical. So Jash is from Gwalior. Okay. Now, we just had 14th of Feb, right? And Jash had some crush, right? So the crush of Jash is, let us say, in Delhi. Now pay attention to my example. Yes, that is why I purposely took a name of Jash so that I can make it rhyming. You're right. Jash, I hope you don't mind if I'm just taking you as an example just to make it more practical for everyone, right? Okay, that's okay, Jash. The example is also of single only. I just said you have a crush. Now, the crush of Jash is in Delhi, right? Now pay attention, students. Now on 14th Feb, Jash wants to deliver to his crush some special gift. So Jash locates a supplier in Delhi. So I am the supplier in Delhi, right? But Jash is in Rajasthan or MP. Jash, which place did you mention? MP. Okay. So Jash is in MP. Now please pay attention. I am having transaction with Jash. What is the transaction? Jash has placed order on me. So I am the supplier and Jash is the buyer, or you can say the recipient. But the delivery has to happen to the address of his crush who is at Delhi. So this DEL is delivery. Now what Jash has asked me to do? He has asked me to ship the goods to this address. Ship. Ship means deliver. But obviously, since Jash is my customer, I am going to raise bill on Jash. So this transaction, I am the supplier, Jash is the buyer. I am going to send bill to Jash. So bill to is Jash, but ship to, that is delivery to, is the third person. So here where the third person comes. I hope this is clear to all. Firstly, first understand what is a three-party transaction. So this is the example of a tri-party transaction, which is called as bill to ship to. I hope this is now understood by all what is a bill to ship to. Right, students? Anybody, any queries? Super. Now, interestingly, if I apply clause A, the original clause, what it says, what should be the place of supply? Place where the delivery or the movement terminates, which in this example is Delhi. However, clause B says place of buyer is the place of supply. So in this example, place of supply is MP. Even though the goods are being transported in the same state, the place of supply is MP because it is not the delivery place. It is the place of the buyer. That is what is the important point. So Manisha, yes, bill is in the name of Jash and ship is in the name of Crush. Yes, so Purav. So this is very common. Online now, this has become very common. No, no, beta. Surinder, why you are comparing with courier service? We are not dealing with place of supply of courier. We are dealing with place of supply of goods. And see, why I took example of this Valentine Day, because this is a very relevant example. Now, your fiancé, maybe your friend. See, Valentine is not only for your crush or anyone. It is even for your friends. You can send gifts to anyone. See, Valentine Day is just a reason for celebration, right? So let us say you have any close friend. Maybe you have a same gender friend. That is also okay. And you want to send your friend some gift. Now, your friend is staying in some other state. If you send from here, it may be too costly or it may take time. So nowadays it is very common. Online, you identify a shop from that place itself, and from there, like people deliver cakes on birthdays or any of the special dates to their friends, to their relatives. So this is the case of bill to ship to. So the shop owner, let us say in this case, I am the shop owner in Delhi from whom you have purchased this gifts. Let us say you have purchased a teddy, you have purchased a greeting card, something, and you have asked me to deliver it within Delhi only. But I am not concerned with the delivery address. Wherever you ask me, if you'll ask me, I'll deliver to your address also in MP. But you have asked me to deliver it in Delhi, so I'm delivering it to Delhi address. Point is, my case or my concern is with Just who is sitting in MP because Just has placed order on me. I will be getting payment from Just. So for me, the buyer is Just. It is irrespective of where the goods are getting delivered. Such transactions firstly are called as bill to ship to, where supplier is one party, buyer is the second party, and the ship to person is the third party. Gaurav, you have a very good point. I'll come to that point. Aditi, your question is incorrect. You are asking ultimately who will pay the tax. See, again, this we discussed at length in last to last session. In case where now all these cases are of forward charge, so supplier has to pay tax to the government. But what supplier does? Supplier will write it in the bill and collect it. So I am the supplier. I'm collecting it from Just and paying it to the government. So I did not get your question. Who will pay the tax? I will pay the tax. Supplier has to pay the tax because it is a forward charge transaction. I'm coming to that example, Just. Now I'll come to that example also. Yes, Sushmita, I'll come to that example. That is my second example in this. Then Lakshmi Beta, you are mixing. We are right now studying section 10 of IGST. But you have a very good point. Students, in my previous class, I explained section 10, which was composition scheme. Today also we are dealing with section 10, which is place of supply. So how can there are two different provisions in the same section? So the answer is, in the previous class, we were discussing CGST Act. This class, we are discussing IGST Act. Maithili Beta, I'm still not getting your question. But Aditi, RCM, FCM, we studied, na? There is a list given for RCM. If your transaction is falling in the list, it is RCM. If not, then it is FCM. It is so simple. What is the problem? We already studied RCM list, Aditi. Correct? So is your transaction falling in the RCM list? No. So if not, then it is FCM. Simple. Maithili, this chapter has nothing to do with the billing part only. This chapter is about determining the place of supply. Why to determine place of supply, students? You need to determine the nature of transaction so you can determine whether you have to charge C plus S or I. This is the main purpose of this chapter. we have to determine place of supply. Why we are determining place of supply in all these cases? Because we have to determine whether in my bill I will charge CGST, SGST, or whether I will charge IGST. Yes, Maithili.
Yes, sir, understood. The
Correct?
place of supply, the goods, yes, sir, the goods and services, which place will be which place will be delivered, that is the place of supply, correct, sir?
No, 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 no. Is it right now in this B clause? Is it the place of delivery, which is the place of supply? Is my place of
Yes, sir. That's why I'm asking. The invoice is sent to Madhya Pradesh MP. So that is place of supply, correct? In bill will goes to on which place? That is the place of supply. Sir, you're muted,
Yeah,
sir.
Maithili, can you please repeat your point?
In B class, the bill will goes to MP. So the MP will be the place of supply.
Place of supply. Correct. Correct. So now which
Yes, sir,
tax
but
we will levy? Maithili, which tax, whether it is interstate or intrastate?
this is interstate, sir.
Very good. Even though the
IG
delivery is happening in the same state, but this transaction is interstate. So which tax will be levied?
in IGST.
Yes.
Yes, sir,
Students, I hope
understood.
it is clear to everyone now. Yes, Vanshika. So Vanshika has used a proper language. So basically the place of supply in this case, which case? Three-party case, will be depending upon in whose name the bill is drawn. Correct. And not where the delivery is made. So it is the bill to place, which is the place of supply, and not the ship to place.
Bill,
Correct? Clear to all? Second example in this. See, I actually have a PPT also made for this, but I thought I will do the writing part so that it is more easy. That much time you also get to absorb, because PPT, everything will run fast. If you want at the end, maybe I'll show the PPT also. But in that PPT, we'll use the PPT for revision, but I'll write it down so that this becomes your short note also for future reference. See, PPT is more pictorial. It is only fast movement of things. So it may appear very magnetic, but to retain, I always believe in writing. This is how I used to prepare my notes, and I'm also giving you a hint how you should prepare your notes. Correct? Now, second example, Josh has one more crush, and this crush is in, let us say, Jaipur. So Josh has one more crush who is in Jaipur. Now, for this crush, Josh want to send something from his local place. So now the supplier is from Gwalior, that is from MP. Buyer, that is Josh, is also MP. Correct? So supplier is from Gwalior. Buyer is also from Gwalior, which is Josh. Right? But the delivery is happening to Rajasthan, which is Jaipur. So same. Transaction is between these two persons. So bill to person is Josh, whereas ship to person is Rajasthan. Now what Josh has done? Just wants to send some special local item from his place. Just can you name some local items, famous local items of Gwalior, which you would like to send to your crush? Okay, Gajag. I forgot. In fact, I knew this, but I forgot. Any other item, Josh, which you would like to send to your crush? Something in clothing, something special, some local item. Vocal say local, local say vocal. Sorry. So let us say Josh wants to send a special dress which is having, yes, handicraft. That is, I was missing that word. So special handicraft item which is famous of Gwalior. So he again maybe books it online or whatever method. but he gives the delivery address of Jaipur, Rajasthan, where his second crush is. Now, the transaction is between these two persons. Both are in MP, but the delivery is happening to another state. So see the difference. In the first transaction, the parties were from different states, but the delivery was happening within the same state. In the second transaction, parties are from the same state, delivery is happening to another state. What is important is, in case of tri-party transaction, which is called as a bill to ship to transaction or a tri-party transaction. Tri means there are three persons: supplier, buyer, and the place of delivery or the delivery person, right? In such cases, this transaction, what is place of supply? Again, as per the rule, it is the place of buyer only. So now this will be intrastate. Why? Because location of supplier is Gwalior, place of supply is also Gwalior, both are in MP, and hence the supplier will charge half C, half S. Correct? Yes. Very good, students. Great. Super. Right? Okay. Now coming to clause C. What is clause C dealing with? No movement supplies. Where there will be no movement and it is on as is, where is. This is called as is, where is. So I'll give you an example. Again, let me take some name. So let us say Rashmi. Rashmi, where are you from, beta? Just put the name of your place. Achha, she is also from central region only. Okay, Rashmi is from Delhi. Fine. Now, importantly, the buyer or the recipient is Delhi. Now, what Rashmi wants to do is, let us say she wants to come to my state, which is Maharashtra. I am the supplier from Nashik, which is Maharashtra. I have my industry over here in Maharashtra. Let me tell you what is my place famous for. My place is famous for multiple things. If I have to tell you the historical relevance, we have many forts of Shivaji Maharaj and later on the Peshwas. So Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj has built many forts here. Plus later on, Peshwas who were also ruling were having these forts. Plus Nashik is the vegetable garden of India. Third, Nashik is the wine capital of India. Fourth, Ramayana started from Nashik because Sita ji was taken by Ravan from Nashik. In fact, Nashik is the place where Shurupnakha's nose was cut, and that is how this place got the name Nasik from the Sanskrit word Nasika, nose. Another relevance of Nashik is having currency note press and India security press both. Generally, we have one of the things at a place. We have both the things. Plus, we have multiple military bases and we also have Indian Air Force bases in Nashik. So this is the relevance of Nashik. And the most important relevance of Nashik is that I'm in Nashik. Fine. Okay. Now, let us say Rashmi wants to start wine business. Now, for that, Rashmi decides to take up an existing wine unit. Now, I'm having such wine unit. Let us say this is example. Actually, I'm not having any such wine unit. But let us say I'm having the wine unit in one of the industrial estates of Nashik. Now, Rashmi comes to Nashik. She likes the place Nashik. She likes the climate. And when she gets to know about so much relevance, she says, let me have one business in Nashik. So she decides, she finds out what is very prominent and she says that yes, wine is a very happening business across the world. Plus Nashik grapes are famous. So Nashik wines is also very famous. It is famous nationally plus internationally. So she decides to start a wine factory in Nashik. Now, first option is she could have started from scratch, first acquiring land, then constructing the factory, acquiring the machines. Instead, she decided to have a straight route. So she found out from the market as to is there any wine unit which wants to sell. And she found that yes, I am running a wine factory and now I do not wish to continue the business. So I'm ready to sell my factory on as is where is basis. Now this is important. What is as is where is? As it is in whatever condition it is, I want to sell it as it is where it is. Now broadly I'm selling two things. One is the building, the land, which is outside GST, because whatever land building already which is there, the factory unit which I'm selling is a Schedule 3 supply. We already studied sale of land, sale of building is outside GST. So there is no GST on that. Second thing, there are multiple machineries which are installed in that place. These machines also I want to sell because it is sale of as is where is basis, plus all the furniture, all the infrastructure, whatever is there is what I am selling. So I want to sell the entire unit. Now in this entire example, sale of land, sale of building is outside GST, but all other things like all my machineries, the furniture, the computer systems, all these things are taxable. Now, interestingly, in this case, she is going to purchase it as is where is basis, means nothing will be moving from its place because she will now start the factory in Nashik itself. In fact, she will continue my place, my factory. Such transactions come in cases of C. And what is the place of supply? The law says it is the location of goods at the time of supply. So please understand, supplier is me from Maharashtra, Nashik. Buyer recipient is Rashmi from Delhi. And she is purchasing my factory on as is where is basis. In factory, broadly two things. There are multiple things, but I'm making it simple. One is the factory land building, no supply. Schedule 3, no question of deciding place of supply. And all other things, machinery, everything is what is taxable. Now, what will be the place of supply for this machinery? What will be the place of supply? Let us say some stock is existing there. Stock of both raw material also, now final product of wine also. Everything I'm selling, packing material is there. So many things are there. I'm selling everything to her. The place of supply is Nashik, Maharashtra. That is what is the place of supply. So again, transaction is between persons of different state. But the place of supply is the place where the goods are. So it will again be intrastate. I will be charging half CGST, half Maharashtra SGST. Rashmi, so I'm not leaving IGST, I'm leaving C plus S. Why? How do you decide interstate, intrastate? Location of supplier, which is Nashik, Maharashtra, place of supply. And this is now those scenarios. Anil, you also, who had asked this point, I think Manish or someone has asked, whether it will be recipient only, answer is no. Now here the recipient is from Delhi. Rashmi is from Delhi, but the place of supply is the location of these goods at the time of supply. And where it is Nashik, Maharashtra. Right? Clear, students? Yes, Josh. Tell me, Josh, I have unmuted you, beta. Where is Josh gone? Okay. So is this clear, students? Aditi, beta, what is the place of supply rule? What is the place of supply, Aditi, in case of such type of transactions? See, that is where all different clauses are important. So which clause is applicable over here? Here clause C is applicable. So if you are deciding by A or B, Your answer is wrong. It is not fitting in A and B because A and B deals with the scenario where there is a movement of goods. Is there going to be any movement of goods? Am I going to send the goods anywhere? Answer is no. Then A and B both are not applicable. Right, Aditi? Yes, Josh, tell me.
Very
Your voice is cracking. I cannot understand what you're saying. Cracking. Josh, voice cracking. Sorry. Nothing is understandable. In fact, it is not even clearly audible. Sorry, beta. Sorry. Akhila, you're right. So practically, students, I'll just tell you what Akhila has said. That majorly, in case of clause C, it will be intrastate supply and there will be no interstate supply. So practically, you're right. So majorly, it will be intrastate supply only. Oh, there is a power failure. Student, 1 second. Just hold on, please. There is some power failure. Yes, students. So I hope this transaction is clear to all. Anybody, any questions?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Please tell me.
Sir, am I audible?
You're audible, only your voice is still cracking. So you can but say, tell me your
Sir,
query.
actually, मैंने पूछा
Sorry. Again, your voice is not clear, beta. Just voice not clear. Just your voice is continuously breaking, beta. Yes, Harshal, I've unmuted you.
सर मतलब यहाँ पे जो नो मूवमेंट सप्लाई हेंस वी टेकन एज अ इंट्रास्टेट सप्लाई इन इवन ऑल ट्रांजैक्शंस
मेजरली वही तो मैंने बोला अभी 2 मिनट पहले मैंने यही बताया और किसी ने स्पेसिफिकली यही क्वेश्चन पूछा था बेटा तो जस्ट मैंने अभी बताया कि प्रैक्टिकली यही होगा आई थिंक अकीला हैड आस्क्ड दिस क्वेश्चन कि प्रैक्टिकली इन केस ऑफ क्लॉज सी इट विल बी इंट्रास्टेट सप्लाई ओनली यही बोला बेटा मैंने
ओके सर अंडरस्टूड
yes just I'm reading the query which you have said so you are saying ki factories in Nashik and Rashmi who is in Delhi how she can get herself registered so see what will happen after she buys my business she can apply for registration and she can get registered in Nashik so definitely she will take registration rather she will have to take registration in Nashik so once she buys my business she can apply for registration in Nashik and that will be allowed to her because now she has a business place in Nashik, right? Shri Krishna, I am unmuted you. Maithili, but I just answered that, beta. So practically there will be generally no interstate supply, though I can give you one example of interstate supply, right? Shri Krishna, but I have unmuted you.
No,
yes.
sir, no query.
No query. Great. Yes, Purav.
सर आई वांटेड टू आस्क कि जैसे जो बिजनेस है जो बेचा गया है तो वो उसकी रजिस्ट्रेशन तो पहले से ही नहीं हो रखी होगी, तो फिर दोबारा उसी सेम बिजनेस के लिए रजिस्ट्रेशन क्यों करने की जरूरत पड़ रही है जब वो
क्योंकि बेटा ओनर चेंज हो गया ना, कमाने
वो
वाला आदमी बदल गया ना। पहला आई
तो
वॉज द
ओनर
ओनर, द बिजनेस वॉज रन बाय मी, नाउ इट विल बी रन बाय रश्मि, तो रश्मि हैज टू
तो,
टेक रजिस्ट्रेशन।
तो वहां पे ओनर का नाम चेंज नहीं हो सकता है क्या उसमें?
बेटा वो सब होता है, मगर रश्मि को तो यहाँ पे फिर सी अभी वो बिजनेस कौन सा है, पार्टनरशिप है, प्रोप्राइटरी है, कंपनी है, ये सब चीजों पे डिपेंड करेगा ना।
यस
कंपनी
सर।
भी है तो अभी डायरेक्टर में तो रश्मि का नाम आना पड़ेगा ना, आपको डायरेक्टर चेंज करना पड़ेगा। आई विल रिमूव माई सेल्फ फ्रॉम डायरेक्टर, रश्मि विल बी एडेड एज डायरेक्टर, सो
यस
देयर विल
सर।
बी मेनी चेंजेस हैपनिंग।
यस
करेक्ट?
सर। यस सर।
ठीक है।
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
यस आदित्य,
Sir, I am audible, sir.
यू आर ऑडिबल।
Sir, if I will to shift to example, if I am in Mangalore, sir, I have to shift to Andaman Nicobar. It may be apply for interstate, sir.
बेटा व्हाट इज द रूल इन केस ऑफ बिल टू शिप टू?
Yes,
you have told me half information. You are in Mangalore, correct?
Yes, sir, I am in Mangalore.
You have ship to this Andaman Nicobar, right?
Yes, sir, I have to shift to Andaman Nicobar.
But where is the bill to address? You have not given me that address. Where is the bill to party to whom you are billing this?
Sir, he is in Mangalore, sir.
So it will be
Yes,
then
sir.
which case? Which case? It was my second case then. Supplier,
Sir,
you are supplier, you are in Mangalore. Bill to party is in Mangalore. Wherever you ship makes no difference. Correct, na?
Yes, sir.
So I've already covered that example here. It is my second example what you are asking. Is
Yes,
it
sir,
not?
but it is
Huh?
in Union Territory, sir. Andaman Nicobar is Union
So what
Territory.
is the difference? So what is the difference? Beta, answer remains same, na? Means I
Sir,
did not
sir.
get why you are having a doubt. When I'm saying state, I've always said that whenever I am writing state, you have to also remember I am also talking about union territory.
Oh, okay, sir. I got it, sir. Clear, sir. Thank you, sir. Clear.
Yes, just so if you want, I can unmute you. So Manisha, please raise your doubt. Let me know what you are confusing. That is why I'm waiting. So that if there are doubts, I will clear it first and then I'll proceed. Yes, Nisha.
Sir, sir, if I am shifting my business,
That is altogether a different case. So let us
okay,
say now I'm shifting my factory from Nashik to let us say Andaman Nicobar Islands, for example. It will be altogether a different case. Firstly, is there a supply? If
no
you are
sir,
shifting
just
your no, so first let us understand. See, when we will determine place of supply, for that there has to be supply first. Correct, na?
yes, sir, supply.
So if I am myself taking my business to another place, there is no supply. There is no question of deciding place of supply, right?
Okay, sir.
Perfect, na?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Manisha.
यस सर, एक्चुअली मुझे इस एग्जांपल में कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है, मतलब क्या एक ब्रीफली एक बार ये समझा दोगे एग्जांपल दोबारा से?
बेटा क्या नहीं समझा आपके सामने एग्जांपल, इसलिए मैं ड्रॉ करके करो, इसलिए मैं पीपीटी क्यों नहीं प्ले करो, क्योंकि पीपीटी फटाफट हो जाएगी इधर
सर
में।
मुझे ये समझ में आया कि एक सप्लायर है नासिक में, उसकी वाइन की फैक्ट्री है और उस फैक्ट्री में सारे इक्विपमेंट्स मशीनरी सब कुछ है, तो कोई दूसरा बायर है जो उसको फैक्ट्री को खरीदना चाह रहा है।
परफेक्ट, यहाँ तक आप एकदम करेक्ट हो, आगे बोलो।
और वो दिल्ली से है, तो
yes.
और वो जो सप्लायर है वो उसको दे रहा है बायर को ये सब कुछ, तो आई एम कंफ्यूज, आई एम सो मच
क्या
कंफ्यूज।
कंफ्यूज, आगे बोलो ना, आपका अभी यहाँ तक तो सब कुछ सही है। सो बायर इज फ्रॉम दिल्ली, बायर और रेसिपिएंट आप जो भी बोलो, उसको यही मेरा ही फैक्ट्री आगे उसको रन करना है, मैं अपना एग्जिस्टिंग फैक्ट्री उसको बेच रहा हूँ। करेक्ट?
ओके ओके,
तो अब इसमें क्या कंफ्यूजन बताओ।
इसमें ट्रांसफर कर रहे हो?
सॉरी,
आप पूरी फैक्ट्री उसके नाम पे ट्रांसफर कर रहे हो?
यस
दैट वाज
यस,
द
करेक्ट
एग्जांपल।
करेक्ट।
ओके ओके
So
सर।
place of supply is place where the goods are at the time of supply. Where are the goods? They are in Nashik factory. So place of supply is Nashik.
अगर ये फैक्ट्री मतलब किसी और जगह होती तो नासिक की जगह,
हाँ तो
मतलब
मैं अगला
सप्लायर
एग्जांपल लेता हूँ
नासिक
ना।
का होता।
हाँ हाँ, एक मिनट रुको। आई एम सेलर, नासिक महाराष्ट्र, ठीक है.
Yes,
I
sir.
have a factory in Delhi
Okay.
and I am selling this same factory to Rashmi. Rashmi is the buyer. I am
Yes,
the
sir.
supplier. The factory is in Delhi only,
Okay.
right? Factory is in Delhi.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the place of supply?
The place of supply will be Delhi because the factory is in Delhi.
So all goods are kept at Delhi factory.
Yes,
So
sir.
when I am selling this factory to her, in this case, the place of supply is the location where the goods are at the time the supply is made.
Yes, sir.
So Maithili, this is one example where you can say IGST will be applicable, but practically this will not happen because if I'm having my factory in Delhi, I am already registered in Delhi. Then I also become the supplier from Delhi. But just theoretically, this example is I'm explaining. So this will be a case of interstate supply. Yes, Manisha, ask me the question.
So IGST इसमें लग जाएगा तो ये possible है ना सर?
प्रैक्टिकली नहीं है बेटा, क्योंकि अगर मेरा फैक्ट्री दिल्ली में है तो मुझे दिल्ली में रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना पड़ेगा. द मोमेंट आई
Okay.
रजिस्टर इन दिल्ली, देन सप्लायर बिकम्स ऑफ दिल्ली ओनली ना.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
फिर तो वापस वो इंट्रास्टेट ही हो जाएगा. बट जस्ट थियोरेटिकली फॉर एवरीबॉडीज अंडरस्टैंडिंग आई हैव क्रिएटेड दिस एग्जांपल कि मैं अभी भी नासिक से ही हूँ, मैंने दिल्ली में रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं लिया, जो प्रैक्टिकली गलत है. मुझे दिल्ली में रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना ही पड़ेगा इफ आई हैव माय फैक्ट्री. लेट अस से अनदर एग्जांपल. चलो मैं फैक्ट्री बंद कर चुका हूँ दिल्ली में, अभी 2 साल से बंद पड़ी है फैक्ट्री, तो मेरा अभी दिल्ली में कोई रजिस्ट्रेशन भी नहीं है लेट अस से, तो इस केस में फिर अभी इंटरस्टेट सप्लाई हो जाएगा. करेक्ट?
ऐसा पॉसिबल हो सकता है जो अभी
बहुत
आपने
रेयर केस है, वेरी वेरी रेयर केस, क्योंकि मुझे
Okay.
फिर भी दिल्ली में रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना ही पड़ेगा. बंद भी पड़ी है फैक्ट्री, जिस दिन मेरे को ये फैक्ट्री बेचनी है मुझे दिल्ली में रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना ही पड़ेगा. इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ प्रैक्टिकली ये सिनेरियो बहुत डिफिकल्ट है इन रियलिटी.
So mainly we need to see as per the registration basis, not as person wise.
हाँ, सो बेटा पर्सन इज रजिस्ट्रेशन. सो मैं जिस स्टेट में रजिस्टर्ड हूँ मैं उस स्टेट का पर्सन माना जाता हूँ.
और
So
लेकिन
it
सर
is not my
बिजनेस
residence,
वाइज
it is.
नहीं देख रहे बिकॉज सेपरेट एंटिटी होती है ना बिजनेस और पर्सन
तो
की
इससे तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि इसलिए हम तो जीएसटी बिजनेस के हिसाब से देख रहे हैं, तो आपको बिजनेस को ही देखना पड़ेगा ना, आपको पर्सन को नहीं देखना है ना. करेक्ट?
ओके सर. ओके सर.
मेरा अगर बिजनेस दिल्ली में है तो बाय डिफॉल्ट मैं दिल्ली में पर्सन हो गया क्योंकि मैं वहां पे रजिस्टर्ड हूँ. करेक्ट?
ओके सर.
अंडरस्टूड बेटा? डाउट क्लियर ना?
हाँ सर, बस ये प्लेस का थोड़ा डाउट था, हो गया क्लियर.
ठीक है. यस गौरव,
Sir,
प्लीज टेल मी.
I am audible.
यू आर ऑडिबल, टेल मी.
मैं सर दरअसल दिल्ली में ही रहता हूँ, लेकिन अगर जैसे हरियाणा में जाके कोई गुड्स लेता हूँ फिर वहां
वो
से
डी है
किसी
बेटा, वो
थर्ड
डी है,
पार्टी.
हम आते हैं ना उस पे बेटा, वो नेक्स्ट केस है.
अच्छा,
सॉरी डी नहीं, वो सीए
मैं
है.
सर ट्राई पार्टी केस होगा, मैं सोचा मैं वो ही होगा सर.
नहीं नहीं, इट इज सीए बेटा केस. आई विल कम टू दैट. मेरा वो केस होने दो, फिर अपन अगर आपका उसमें सिचुएशन नहीं कवर हुआ तो हम वापस डिस्कस करेंगे. बट व्हाट
ओके,
यू आर
थैंक यू
सेइंग
सर.
इज सीए. ठीक है?
ठीक ठीक है सर.
इधर इट इज सी और इधर इट इज ए, बट इट विल नॉट बी ट्राई पार्टी जनरली.
ओके.
यस अदिति.
Yes, sir. So मेरा ये डाउट था कि like if the buyer takes or buys another new plant or machinery due to like हो सकता है कि जो एग्जिस्टिंग प्लांट एंड मशीनरी है वो आउटडेटेड है और उसको आगे फर्दर प्रोडक्शंस के लिए नहीं यूज कर सकते,
तो बेटा फिर
तो
तो वो ए में आ जाएगा. वो कहीं से तो भी खरीद के आएगा, वो मशीन मूव होके उसकी जगह पे आएगी, इट विल बी ए. देन
इस
देयर विल बी
केस में
मूवमेंट ऑफ गुड्स ना.
अच्छा सर, तो इस केस में फिर प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई नासिक ही रहेगी ना?
नहीं नहीं बेटा, एक मिनट. हाँ नासिक हो जाएगी ना, क्योंकि आपकी फैक्ट्री नासिक में है. करेक्ट?
यस सर.
अब इस नासिक वाली फैक्ट्री में आपने एमपी ग्वालियर से कोई मशीन खरीदी, तो देयर विल
या
बी मूवमेंट.
यस सर.
मूवमेंट हो गया तो आप ए या बी में आओगे. आप क्योंकि ये टू पार्टी ट्रांजेक्शन है तो ए में ही रहेगा. ए के हिसाब
यस
से फिर हमारा आंसर क्या आएगा? प्लेस वेयर द मूवमेंट टर्मिनेट्स, विच विल बी नासिक.
नासिक. ओके.
इसलिए तो आपको पहले ये देखना है आपका ट्रांजेक्शन इनमें से किस क्लॉज में फॉल करता है. दैट इज फ्रॉम वेयर यू विल टेक द आंसर.
सो वी नीड टू डिटरमाइन कि ये 2 पार्टी ट्रांजैक्शन है कि 3 पार्टी.
नहीं, सबसे पहले आपको डिटरमाइन करना है whether there is movement or no movement. First two transactions, as I said, are regular transactions which involve movement. So you have to first see if my transaction is regular transaction where movement is involved, then 2 party or 3 party. 2 party A, 3 party B. If no movement, then you will come to C.
Okay. Okay, sir. Got it.
Clear है बेटा?
Yes, understood. Thank you.
Yes, Josh. Josh, I have unmuted you. Karan, you are right. Anil, beta, your question, whether it is supply, let me say, if it is some unlisted shares, is unlisted is a share goods or service? Rashmi, I did not get your point. So Anil, आपका केस में practically tax ही नहीं लगने वाला है. So there is no question of place of supply. Rashmi, I did not get your point. What you just have typed. Just I have already unmuted you, beta. Students, any further questions in clause C? No, beta. Just it is still cracking. It is still cracking, beta. Your voice. Now we come to third scenario, or let us say fourth scenario as per numbering. Clause CA. What is correct, Simran? Beta, you have not, Samiran, you have not given me any point. So how can I? Just beta, what should I help you with? Yes, Josh, you're right. Because land and building is outside GST. So only machines, computers, stock, furniture, only on these items GST is applicable. Ankita, if a person from Nashik sells it such that only to the person who starts business in Haryana, then place of supply will be Haryana and it will fall under 10 clause A. Correct, you're right. Okay. Now what is clause CA covering? We call it as over the counter sale, OTC, over the counter sale. Now what is this? It is our day-to-day example. You go to any shop and you buy the goods from that shop. Now we all are unregistered under GST. We go there as a consumer. So let us say you want to buy a laptop. I'll take that example of Delhi, Haryana. So supplier is in Delhi. So the laptop Chroma showroom is in Delhi. The buyer is coming from Haryana. Now you all would be knowing Delhi, Haryana, Noida, these are very close by places. So the buyer who is from Haryana is daily traveling to Delhi for some work. Now the buyer wants to buy a laptop. So the buyer, I'll take example because this was somebody's practical question. It was whose question? I forgot. Who just gave this example? I forgot. ठीक है. So let us say Samiran I'm taking example of Samiran. So Samiran is from Haryana. He wants to buy a laptop. So he comes to Delhi, goes to the showroom, buys a laptop. Now Samiran is an unregistered person buying the goods for personal use. Question is, what is the place of supply? Clause CA says it is the location of recipient mentioned on invoice. So now this Chroma showroom supplier will prepare invoice. Now in the invoice, Samiran will mention his address of Haryana and they will put the name Samiran, they will put the address. Now what this clause says, even if entire address is not mentioned, only the state name is mentioned, Haryana, then also the place of supply is the location of recipient, that is the address written on the invoice. So it is the address of the recipient which is written on the invoice. In simple words, it is the location of the recipient written on the invoice. So in case of over-the-counter sale, where we daily do this, we go to a shop, we buy the goods, and in such cases where we are unregistered, the place of supply is, if you mention your state name, okay, I'm coming from some other state, and that is mentioned on the invoice, the place of supply is that place, that is that state to which you belong. So in this example, you have mentioned to the supplier has mentioned your state name on the invoice of laptop, Haryana. So Haryana is the place of supply. I hope this is clear. And since the seller, location of seller and the place of supply are different states, it will become a transaction of interstate supply. IGST would be levied. Then comes another example or another situation, clause D, where goods have to be installed or assembled at site. So again, let me take an example. So let us say Aditi. Aditi, where are you from? No, which place? Okay. Achha, I'll clear one thing here. If the buyer, in my example, Samiran, who is from Haryana, has not mentioned to the seller that he is from Haryana. See, what is important is this. What is the address of the recipient mentioned on invoice? Many times you do not mention anything. Like when we go to any local shop or any shop, if you are not mentioning anything, the person is only making the invoice by writing your name, but not writing the name of place. Or let us say, many times you don't even mention our name, they simply make an invoice. Like when we go to malls, they don't even ask your name, they directly print the invoice. So when no name is mentioned, then the place of supply by default will be the place where the shop is. In that case, it will become intrastate supply. This is where if nothing is mentioned, nothing mentioned on invoice. Why? Because you did not mention, or like let us say when we go to mall, they don't even ask your name. So there is no question of asking the place. So if nothing is mentioned on invoice, the place of supply is the same state where the shop is. So the location of supplier Delhi, place of supply also Delhi. In that case, it will become intrastate and C plus S will be levied. But where the buyer mentions his state name, her state name, which is recorded, which is written on the invoice. This is very important condition given in clause C. So you are from another state, how the government will come to know? They will come to know only when you have mentioned it and it is written on your invoice. So only when this is written on your invoice, only then this will be considered as clause CA, where the location will be location of recipient. If nothing is mentioned on invoice, the location will be supplier's location. In that case, it will become intrastate. Yes, so all cash sale over the counter where nothing is mentioned about the buyer's location, or when you go to any mall, when you buy there, we keep on shopping from malls, we don't even mention our name. So in such cases, it will be location of the seller itself. So it will always be intrastate supply. That is why on your invoices in the mall, they always charge C+S. Just have not yet explained C. I was going to explain, then there were some queries, so I have come back to C. Sorry, I'm explaining CA. So in simple words, CA says that the place of supply is the address of the recipient mentioned on invoice. CA applies wherever the supply is made to unregistered persons. And the most common example is where you go to a shop or where you go to a mall and you buy anything. If you mention the name of your state and that is recorded on the invoice, the place of supply is the location of the recipient mentioned on invoice. But as it happens many times in such sales, in cash sales, or which is called as over-the-counter sale, you don't mention anything. The buyer supplier also does not ask anything. So where nothing is mentioned on invoice, the place of supply is the location of the supplier itself. So it will always be intrastate supply in that case. Now coming to clause D. So what is the case covered? What transaction is covered? Where goods have to be installed or assembled at site. Now I'm taking example of Aditi. So Aditi is from Gorakhpur, UP. She is the buyer. Now she wants solar system installed in her house on the terrace or on the roof of her house, for which she gets a supplier who is from Bihar. So the supplier is from Bihar. What she is going to get is solar panel, solar system installed on her rooftop. Now, whenever there are any goods like AC, water purifier, solar panels, which have to be installed or assembled at a place which is called as the site, what does clause D says? Clause D is very simple. What is the place of supply? It is the place of installation or assembly. Now, interestingly, Aditi is from UP, but she wants this to be fitted in her house, which is in Patna. Patna is also in UP. So, buyer is from UP, but the installation has to be done in Patna, which is Bihar. So, supplier is also in Bihar, and the installation has to be done in Bihar. Now, here the buyer is from a different state. What is the place of supply? The place of supply is the place of installation. So in this case, it will be intrastate supply. So even though the buyer belongs to a different state, but in case of goods which have to be assembled, installed, the place of supply is the place of installation. So the buyer will be charged, the seller will be charging half CGST and half SGST. Divya beta, in all cases, we are talking about goods only because we are dealing with section 10, which deals with place of supply of goods. So in all cases, goods are involved. So supplier also from Bihar, let us say from Gaya in Bihar. Recipient is from UP, but that makes no difference where the buyer is from. In case where the goods have to be installed, the law says the place of supply is the place of installation.
So, in this case, it will be interstate supply.
Why, beta? Where is the location of supplier?
So, from UP to Bihar,
Beta, where is the location of supplier?
supplier is in UP.
Why, beta? Who is the supplier? Is Aditi the
So,
supplier or is Aditi the buyer?
sir, Aditi is the buyer and Bihar it is supplier.
So why you are saying UP? So where is supplier from?
Supplier is from Bihar,
Where is the buyer from?
from UP.
But are we required to see the place of the buyer in this case?
No, sir.
What
Where
place we have to see?
installation
Where is installation done in this example?
in UP.
Beta, it is done in Patna, Bihar.
Sir,
What
but
did I say?
Aditi,
अरे तो अदिति यूपी से है पर उसका एक घर पटना में, उसको वहां इंस्टॉल करवाना है. मैंने यही एग्जांपल दिया बेटा. आपने एग्जांपल नहीं सुना क्या? अदिति यूपी से है पर उसने इंस्टॉलेशन कहाँ पे करवाया? उसका बंगलो पटना बिहार में है, उसने वहां पे इंस्टॉलेशन करवाया है. राइट नाउ अदिति इज इन यूपी, शी स्टेज इन गोरखपुर यूपी, बट उसको ये इंस्टॉलेशन कहाँ पे करवाना था? शी वांटेड दिस इंस्टॉलेशन टू बी डन इन वन ऑफ हर हाउसेज. लेट अस से उसके ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स का हाउस है पटना बिहार में, उसको वहां पे इंस्टॉलेशन करवाना है.
okay,
सो प्लेस ऑफ इंस्टॉलेशन कहाँ पे है मेरे एग्जांपल में? सी फर्स्ट बी क्लियर विद द एग्जांपल. अगर आप एग्जांपल ही गलत समझ रहे हो तो आपको फिर प्रोविजन गलत ही समझेगी. आंसर क्या है? आंसर दिया है प्लेस ऑफ इंस्टॉलेशन. दिस इज द प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई. मेरे एग्जांपल में बायर यूपी से है मगर उसने इंस्टॉलेशन कहाँ करवाया है? पटना में, बिहार में. सो कौन सा टैक्स लगेगा?
yes, sir. Sir, Interstate.
परफेक्ट. C plus S.
Yes.
Perfect. Any other questions, students? So, in case of installation, buyer kahan se hai makes no difference. It is only the address of installation. It is only the place of installation which is the deciding factor. Now, Vanshika says if Aditi wants to install solar panel in her house in UP, then it will become interstate supply. Why? Because supplier is Bihar, place of installation is UP, so place of supply will be UP. Now it will become interstate supply. Correct? Yes, Aditi, tell me. This is clear to everyone, students? So answer is don't look at the buyer. In case of clause D, firstly, where clause D is applicable, wherever the goods have to be installed. Now, Gaurav has a good question. What if Aditi wants installation at two different places? One in Patna, one in Bihar. Possible? Yes, because Aditi has her house in UP and her grandparents' house in Bihar. In that case, what will happen? In that case, the supplier will have to take two different invoices. Why? Anyways, because two different installations are done, so there are two different supplies happening. Had it been both at one place, he could have done it in one invoice. Better is he should take two invoices. He can still do in one invoice, but then for each item, he has to write different place of supply. So if installation are at two places, it is two supplies. For both supplies, the answer will be different. Where the installation is in the state of Bihar, that is in Patna, it will be intrastate. Where the installation is in UP, that is the Aditi's own house, for that invoice, it will be interstate. Yes, Vanshika, installation of Wi-Fi, all these are examples of this. So even you install the dish or the dish TV connection, all these are examples of this. Correct? Nitya said is asking if it was mere delivery and not installation. See, if it is mere delivery, you go to clause A. Clause A deals with the case where there is movement of goods. Yes, Diksha, all examples of installation of different items falls in clause D. So Nitya beta, I hope you got the answer. निशा बेटा, what you are asking, how is it interstate, which example you are asking? पहले example कौन सा है वो समझो निशा, उसके बिना आप सीधे जंप करोगे कि ये इंटरस्टेट है या इंट्रास्टेट हो तो आपका आंसर गलत जाएगा. नित्या बेटा, आई होप यू गॉट द आंसर. So where it is only delivery, no installation, you are not coming in clause D. Let us say आपने सिर्फ AC खरीद लिया, but you are not getting it installed. You have only purchased AC from me. You will install it yourself. In that case, we don't fit in clause D. Clause D is applicable only where you are asking me also to do installation. Yes, Nisha.
सर अभी जो एग्जांपल दिया था, जैसे हमें दो जगह इंस्टॉल कराना है, अदिति को अपने घर पे भी कराना है और अपने मतलब बिहार पटना में भी कराना है, तो उस केस में सर इंटरस्टेट कैसे हुआ, मतलब आप.
तो बेटा, तो दो ट्रांजेक्शन हुए कि एक ट्रांजेक्शन है, पहले मुझे बताओ. ये सप्लाई दो है या सप्लाई एक है?
सर सप्लाई 2 हो गई है ना, दोनों जगह कराना है.
तो अब दो जगह कराना है तो मैंने बोला ना, दो इनवॉइस बनाओ, दो अलग आंसर आएंगे. जो इंस्टॉलेशन उसने अपने ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स के घर में करवाया है उसके लिए आंसर इंट्रास्टेट आएगा. जो उसने अपने घर में करवाया है उसके लिए आंसर इंटरस्टेट आएगा. अभी बताया बेटा मैंने.
तो लेकिन सर अपने घर पे जैसे वो करा रहे हैं तो हमारे यहीं के यूपी के ही आएंगे वो करने के लिए इंस्टॉलेशन.
ऐसा कोई जरूरी है भाई? उसने बिहार वाले से दोनों चीजें खरीदी है. बिहार वाले ने यहाँ पे इंस्टॉलेशन के लिए कौन आदमी आ रहा है, आपको उससे क्या करना है? इंस्टॉलेशन आपके बाजू में पड़ोस में रहने वाला कोई आएगा. माल बेचने वाला आदमी कौन है आपको? हु इज सेलिंग द गुड्स? आपको बिल किससे आने वाला है? बिहार वाले से आने वाला है कि किससे आने वाला है?
सर बिहार,
हाँ, तब तो
सर
बिहार वाले
समझ
को उस
में
पर
आ गया.
जीएसटी लगाना है ना.
ओके
बिहार वाला
सर.
आदमी यूपी से उठाए या अपने बिहार से भेजे इंस्टॉलेशन का, आपको क्या करना है? फॉर यू द ट्रांजेक्शन इज बिटवीन द सेलर ऑफ बिहार एंड यू. दैट्स इट. सही है ना?
ओके यस सर. यस.
इंस्टॉलेशन वाला आदमी कहाँ से आ रहा है? वो थोड़ा ना सप्लायर है. सप्लायर तो बिहार में बैठा हुआ बिजनेसमैन है जिससे आपने सोलर पैनल और सोलर का पूरा सिस्टम खरीदा है. करेक्ट? यस सुष्मिता.
Yes, sir. So in this subsection D, we are talking only about the installation charges. Right?
No,
Or is it for the
no,
entire purchase?
no. What is written? See, you all are not reading the scenario. You are not clear with the scenario. Then you will not understand. What are we saying? Where goods have to be installed at site, right? And we are not talking about installation service. We are talking about sale of goods. Why? Because we are still in section 10. What is section 10 dealing with? Is it dealing with supply of goods or supply of service, beta?
Goods, sir.
So why you are talking about installation?
Okay.
See, installation is done by the supplier of goods. I am not bothered about installation service. See, I have purchased AC. Simple example. You purchase AC. The AC supplier itself does the installation for you, na?
Yes, sir.
Same thing will happen with solar also.
Okay,
When
sir.
you purchase
Right.
solar, it has to be installed. Without installation, it will not work. Same is AC, same is water purifier. These all things have to be installed. And it is done by the supplier of goods. So we are still dealing with supply of goods. Please be clear.
Yes,
Right? We
sir.
are not talking
Got
about
it.
service.
Got it. Thank you.
Perfect. Clause E. Goods sold on board conveyance. In simple words, in transit. Now, what is this scenario? Please understand. You are traveling from Chalo, let me take example. Who had just last discussed with me? Who just spoke to me last? Yes. Sushmita, where are you from, beta? So Sushmita is traveling. From where to where? Okay. So let us say Sushmita is traveling. She is from Bangalore. So now she is taking a flight from Bangalore, which is Karnataka state, correct? To a place in Uttarakhand. She is fond of mountains. So she wants to go have some peace. So she is traveling by flight to Uttarakhand. Now we are not talking about flight charges. Why? Because flight charges are supply of service, which is not covered here. That we will study when we go to section 12. While she is in flight, she feels hungry. She opens her bag and she realizes she forgot to carry her food, which she had packed before leaving. So now she has no choice but to purchase something from the air hostesses who are over there during the flight selling different items. So she decides to purchase a packaged food item. So let us say she purchases a Tetra Pak juice, a packaged juice, plus she purchases almonds. So please understand, we are talking about supply of goods, not of the flight service. Packaged food is goods, not service. Now her flight is moving from Bangalore to Uttarakhand. In this journey, the flight is crossing different states. Now please understand, who is the buyer in my example? My buyer is Sushmita, who is from Bangalore. Most important, who is the supplier in this example? Supplier is the airline company, because she's purchasing this packaged food from the airline company. So she's traveling by Air India. So Air India is the person who is selling goods to her. Now, where is Air India registered? Let us say Air India is registered Delhi. So supplier state Delhi, buyer state is Bangalore, Karnataka. What is the place of supply? Now, this is interesting. We are talking about clause E, which is dealing with sale of goods, which is happening on board. What is on board? While you are traveling, while you are in transit, while you are on board means where you are in the flight, in the train, in the ship. At that time, if you are purchasing something, so there is a sale. So sale is by whom? So supplier is airline company, buyer or recipient is Sushmita. But what is the place of supply? The place of supply as per clause E is the place where goods were onboarded the conveyance. Now what is this? See, all these food articles are loaded on the flight at some place. Now that place could be any place. Let us say this flight started in the morning from Delhi, and at Delhi airport itself, all the food articles were loaded on this flight. Then this flight first went to Bangalore. That was the first flight. And from Bangalore, now it is going to Uttarakhand. And maybe Uttarakhand return, it will come back to Delhi. So this is the full day schedule of that flight. Now, all these food articles were loaded at the Delhi port itself. Right? Now, when Sushmita purchased these food articles, maybe the flight would be at that time in Karnataka area itself, or it may be in Maharashtra area, or it may be in MP area, or it may be in Delhi area, or it may be in Uttarakhand area, that you cannot find out. It is highly impossible to know where the flight is while it is in journey. And even if you can find out, the law did not want to take that particular place. It simply said the place where the goods were taken on board the conveyance. Now, in my example, all the food articles were loaded in the flight at the Delhi airport itself. So the place of supply for all food articles, wherever they are sold, will be Delhi. So in my example, it will be intrastate supply in this case. And the airline company will charge C plus S. Though Sushmita is from Karnataka, though the flight right now may be in Uttarakhand, it makes no difference. The place of supply is the place where the goods were loaded in this flight. I hope this is understood by all. So here again, the place of supply is not the place of the buyer or recipient. That is important. The place of supply is not the place of buyer. It is the place where the goods were originally loaded on this flight. Perfect, students? Great. So with this, we complete all clauses of section 10, which deals with place of supply of goods for domestic transaction. Now we will take a 15 minutes break. After the break, we'll come back and we will discuss place of supply for services, domestic supply of services. Perfect. So 15 minutes break. goods Chalo. So let us resume. So I hope all scenarios of place of supply of goods are clear to all. Yes, students, no doubts. All the 6 scenarios that we discussed. Yes, Sushmita Beda.
Sir, in case of first scenario, right, even if the supplier has a godown also, we still consider the supplier's place only as the origin, correct? Or
Correct, because
okay.
see, when you read registration, you'll realize that the supplier will have to take registration at godown. So automatically the godown will also become the supplier's place.
Okay.
Correct?
Okay, so that if the supplier is registered at godown, then we will take the place of
So here when
origin
I'm
as the
saying
godown
supplier,
place.
I mean the godown only.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So it may be the shop, it may be the godown, wherever the goods are stored, the supplier takes registration there. So automatically that becomes the location of supplier.
Okay, sir. Clear. Thank you.
Perfect. Now we come to place of supply of services. Now here there are 2 sections. Though section 13 is not in our syllabus, but again, I'll give you the gist of 13 so that you understand the difference between 12 and 13. Now I said for simplicity, domestic transactions and international transactions. But let me tell you, there is no such word used in the law. Now, interestingly, what does the law says? Where location of supplier and location of recipient both are in India. So it becomes a domestic transaction. Whereas where the location of supplier or location of recipient is outside India. So if anybody's location is outside India, automatically it will become international transaction. So first understand the difference. We are talking about the scenario where both supplier, recipient are from India. So it becomes a domestic transaction. You refer section 12 for determining the place of supply, which we are going to discuss. And where either the location of supplier or the location of recipient is outside India, it becomes international transaction. And whenever it is international transaction, you will have to check section 13 for determining place of supply. This is not part of our syllabus. Now, since there are multiple rules in both 12 and 13, had it been 1 or 2, like in case of import export of goods, I would have explained 13 also. But since there are multiple rules, we'll not spend time in 13, but just you should know which one to refer when. So Ankita, beta, what you are saying is 10B. Yes, correct. So it is 10B, beta. So where there are 2 layers of supplier, it is 10B. But as you're right, if the supplier would have first received the goods and then delivered, it would have been 10.1A. Perfect. So your understanding is excellently perfect, Ankita. Okay. So students, now we will be exclusively dealing with section 12. Now 12.1, it says what? 12.1 says when this applies. So where location of supplier and location of recipient both are in India, then it says you have to apply section 12. Then 12(2), from here the rule starts or the provision starts. It is the general rule. Now what is general rule? From 12(3) onwards, specific or special rule starts from 3 to 14. What is the difference between general rule and specific rule? Specific rule deals with specific cases, whereas where you are not covered, where the transaction is not covered in 3 to 14. So where you are not covered in any of the specific cases given in 3 to 14, then you come into, this is what is the point. Yes, Divya, so you are right. So specific is for selected ones and generally is not for all, it is for other than specific. So the ones which are covered in 3 to 14, over there, you don't apply subsection 2 provision, you will apply the respective provision. But where the case is not falling in subsection 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to 14, any provision, in that case, it will be decided by subsection 2. Like all our CA services, what we are doing, auditing, consulting, handling the written filings, all these fall in subsection 2 because CA services are nowhere covered between 3 to 14. So in fact, ours is the best example of what is covered in subsection 2. So Vedant beta, somebody had asked this question. So where installation is not done, you are only buying the, let us say in your example machine, I had given you example of AC when somebody has asked this question. So where you are only buying the goods, you are taking the delivery of goods and not getting it installed from the supplier. In that case, your case becomes 10(1)A. Then it will not be 10(1)D. Fine with them? Now, what does the general rule says? So general rule says place of supply depends upon whether your recipient is registered or unregistered. If your recipient is registered, the place of supply is the location of recipient. If the recipient is unregistered, then two possibilities. Is address of recipient available on record? Yes, no. If yes, then place of supply is again location of recipient because the address of recipient is available on record. No, the place of supply is the location of supplier. So this is the rule. I'll give you examples of this rule. So again, I am chartered accountant from Nashik, Maharashtra. So I am the supplier. Now let me take example. So let us say Divya has come to me for her income tax return filings. So my service is not covered in subsection 3, 4, 5, 6 or any other subsection. That is why I am falling in the general rule or the default rule. It is also called as the default. So where no other specific rule applies, this will apply. Now in this case, Divya, where are you from? Where are you from, Divya? Also, Vedant, where are you from? So Divya is from Haryana. Now let us say Divya is registered under GST. She is running a business and that is registered under GST, and for that she has taken my services of return filing. Now when I'm providing my CS services to a registered person, then I fall in the first part of this section 12.2, which is clause A of subsection 2, which says place of supply is the location of the recipient. So what will be the place of supply here? It will be Haryana. So it will be interstate supply because location of supplier is Maharashtra, place of supply is Haryana. We are in different states. So it is interstate supply for this return filing services, and I will levy IGST at the full rate of 18%. Correct? Now, second scenario is Vedant comes to me for some consultancy on some GST issue. So he has got some GST issue, so he takes my consultancy. Now, Vedant is from Kanpur, which is UP. Vedant is not registered under GST law. In fact, he has come for the same consultancy, whether he needs to take registration or not. And I tell him, nahi, you are not falling in the registration criteria, so you need not take registration. So this is the scenario. Now, in this particular example, I have to check whether I have Vedant's address available on my record. Now, what it means? See, I'll give you one more example. So let us say I take example of Ankita. Ankita, beta, where are you from? So again for Ankita, I am doing income tax return filing. Ankita is a salaried person, correct? Now I have saying salaried because again, since she is not covered under GST, so she is unregistered. But since I am doing her return filing, I have her address on record. Why? Because I have to compulsorily have her PAN. Without PAN, I cannot do her return filing. So I have PAN and I have all her other details in my file. So what is the meaning of this? I have the address of Ankita in my records. So in my files, I have her address proof. Whereas where Vedant has come for consultancy, he says that, sir, I'm from Kanpur, I'm from UP. I said, fine, but I'm not having any address proof of Vedant because he simply came for consultancy. Now, in this particular case, what is the answer? The answer falls in the second scenario where my recipient are unregistered persons. Now, in this case, since I have address of Ankita available in the records, place of supply is place of Ankita. Ankita is from which place? Ankita is from, again, Haryana. Okay. So Ankita is also from Haryana. So now again, this transaction will be interstate because place of supply is the location of recipient. I will charge IGST. Whereas in this case, this is not the place of supply. Why? Because I'm not having the address proof. So in this case, place of supply is location of supplier itself. So location of supplier and place of supply both are the same place. So it is intrastate. And I will levy C plus S of Maharashtra. Students, I hope you understood all the three case scenarios which fit in this particular case. Anybody? Any questions? Yes, beta Maithili.
Yes, sir. I'm not understood that Vedant case, Vedant example,
What
GST
is not understood?
consultancy.
Beta, be specific. So if you have not understood, let me know your query. I have differentiated between the three examples. In first case, Divya is registered. In second and third case, Vedant and Ankita are not registered. But Vedant has only come for one-time consultancy. I'm not having any address proof of Vedant with me because for consultancy, I don't require his. I will not even create a file of Vedant in my office, right? But for the persons for whom I have to regularly file income tax returns, like Ankita, I have to have her PAN card and other address details in my file. So I have her address proof with me. That is a difference
Yes.
between Vedant's case and this case. Now, what is not understood? Tell me.
In that Vedant example, intrastate, how it will become, sir? Supplier is
Intrastate, no,
Maharashtra.
not interstate, intrastate.
Intrastate means the same state, no?
Same state. Why? Because what is the place of supply? As per this subsection 2,
Maharashtra.
what is the place of supply here? See, firstly, whether Vedant is registered or unregistered, Vedant is unregistered.
Unregistered, yes.
Then second, is address proof of Vedant
No,
available in my records?
no.
So what is the place of supply?
Location of supplier.
So POS is location of supplier here. POS is location of recipient here. So our case is falling in this. POS is location of supplier. So same. What is my location? Nashik. This itself is the POS. So when supplier location and POS are the same state, which tax we will levy? We will levy intrastate. C plus S.
But Vedant location is Uttar Pradesh, no?
So beta, but what is the answer? What does the law says? What is place of supply? Is it the location of recipient? That is my question. Beta, see what we are checking place of supply. What will be place of supply in different transactions? In this transaction, what does the law says? What is the place of supply? First, understand what does the law says. What is the
Yes,
place
sir.
of supply in this transaction? Tell me.
Maharashtra.
Means the location of supplier. It
Yes,
is not
sir.
the location of recipient. And this was my first point at the start. Somebody had asked the location, place of supply will always be location of recipient. I said, yes, 75% cases it will be. But there are 25% scenarios where the location of recipient will not be the place of supply. This is one of those cases. Place
So
of supply is not the location of recipient.
this is some understood, but in you mentioned intrastate C plus S. That will how come, sir?
Acha. So, acha, tell me, how do you decide interstate and intrastate? What is the rule for deciding interstate and intrastate?
Supplier of the state and the recipient of the state is different. It is interstate.
Is that what I explained but at the start? See, this is what I had given at the start. How do you decide intrastate? Is it location of supplier and location of recipient?
Both are same in is interstate.
But beta, is it intrastate? I have shown in front of you. This is I explained at the start. What have I written? Please read. What are the two things that you compare to decide interstate and intrastate?
Is a
What are the two things?
Is a location of supplier and place of supplier. Both are same
Correct.
state. It
Place of
intrastate.
supply. Don't say supplier. So location of supplier and place of supply. We have to check these two things.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Recipient may be same, like place of supply, or recipient may be different. We don't care.
Okay. Okay.
Correct, na?
The supply
Is this clear?
and the supplier is the same state. That is so it will be intrastate supply.
So in my example of Vedant, both are the same state of
Yes.
Maharashtra. That is why intrastate. In my other two examples, they are different states. That is why interstate.
Yes, sir. Yes, understood.
Now clear?
Yes, sir. Clear. Thank you, sir.
Divya, if I have Vedant's address on my record, and that is what is the difference. Now Vedant has come for one-time consultancy, so I need not keep his address on record. Whereas the other two persons who Ankita and other one who regularly file returns with me, I will keep their address on record. So if I have address on record, place of supply is location of recipient, then it will be Vedant's address. Vedant state will be the place of supply. Manisha, I still didn't get your question.
सर मैं ऐसे कह रही हूँ मतलब अभी आपने जो 3 एग्जांपल्स दिए थे उसमें हमें ये चेक करना पड़ेगा कि रजिस्टर मतलब रिसीवर ने रजिस्ट्रेशन ले रखा है या फिर नहीं ले रखा।
परफेक्ट। तो सबसे पहले आप चेक करो कि आपका रेसिपिएंट रजिस्टर्ड है अनरजिस्टर्ड। सबसे पहले वही चेक करना है, क्योंकि उस बेसिस पे हमारे को रूल सिलेक्ट करना है, कौन सा रूल अप्लाई होगा।
ओके सर।
करेक्ट।
यस सर।
अंडरस्टूड। दिस इज द
यस सर।
जनरल रूल और द डिफॉल्ट रूल, जहां पे कोई भी स्पेसिफिक रूल अप्लाई नहीं होता है।
और सर सेक्शन 12 सिर्फ सर्विसेज के लिए है।
यस, जैसे सेक्शन
ओके
10 सिर्फ गुड्स के लिए था, सेक्शन 12 इज ओनली फॉर सर्विसेज।
ओके सर।
ठीक है।
यस।
नाउ वी गो टू स्पेसिफिक सर्विसेज which starts from section 12.3. अब 12.3 deals with services directly in relation to immovable properties. Now, what is covered in this? Let us read from the module, क्योंकि इसमें उन्होंने लिस्ट दिया है कि कौन कौन से सर्विसेज कवर हो रहे। See, can somebody read this for me, please? Okay, let me unmute. Okay, Maithili, I'm unmuting you. Please read.
The place of supply of services directly in relation to an immovable property, including services provided by architects, interior decorators, surveyors, engineers, and other related experts or estate agents. Any service provided by way of grant of rights to use immovable property or for carrying out or coordination of construction work.
Okay.
Or
So 1 second. So first, I will say what type of services? Services of architects, engineers, interior decorators, experts, correct? What is the second
yes.
service covered here? Grant of rights to use. So right to use. Third, carrying out construction. So constructing the property, correct? See, these are all relating to which property? Immobile property. Yes, go ahead.
B point, by way of lodging accommodation by a hotel, inn, guest house, homestay, club, or campsite, by whatever name called, and including a houseboat or any other vessel.
So the next service which is covered is lodging or accommodation. Now it can be anywhere, in a hotel, in a guest house, in an inn. That makes no difference for us. The names are not important. What is important is it should be immobile property. Now what is very interesting is it can also be a boat, which is interesting point here. So all other places are immobile property, but here even if it is a boat, that is interesting. Go ahead.
C point, by way of accommodation in any immovable property for organizing any marriage or reception or matters related thereto, official, social, cultural, religious, or business function, including services provided in relation to such function at such property.
Okay. So next is accommodation for some function plus services relating to it. I'll give you examples of all of these. We are first just noting. Then
D point, any services ancillary to the services referred to in classes A, B, and C.
okay. And now for all these services, what is the place of supply? What is the place of supply of all this? It is the location of the immovable property or the boat. So, firstly, any service ancillary to above. And for all these services, POS is equal to location of immovable property or the boat. Now, which boat? Houseboat or a vessel. So all these are covered, firstly. Now, I'll give you examples of all of these so that you'll understand what all services are covered. First is architect, engineer, interior decorator, experts, estate agents. What are these services? Now, these services, as you all know, so you want to construct your house. For that, you require a proper technical drawing design, which is done by the architect or by the engineer. Second, your present house or your present office, you want proper interiors done. So you hire interior decorator. So all these services of people who are experts in their respective fields. And what is the service? It is directly relating to immovable property. Because what this architect, engineer, interior decorator is dealing with is an immovable property. So their services of designing, decoration, everything is for some immovable property, which may be your house, which may be your shop, which may be your office. Similarly, many times for buying and selling the properties, we require some estate agents who will guide us as to, or who will get us the proper buyers. Such estate agents are also providing services which is directly in relation to the immovable property. So their services also will covered over here. Then what is right to use? Simple example is renting. When you give your property on rent, so let us say you have a flat, let us say Maithili has a flat in Goa and I'm deciding to shift to Goa. Now I need a place to stay there. I know that Maithili has a flat in Goa. So I call her and I request her ki, would you like to rent your place? She said, sir, yes, I'm ready to give. So what she has given me is the right to use the flat, which is simply renting, leasing. These are the different names which are used, hiring. So whenever you give the immovable property on rent, on lease, that is a second service. Third is the builder service. So you get a property constructed from the builder or a works contractor. So whenever you get the construction of your property done, the builder or the works contractor will be falling under 12(3). Next, you are traveling. Let us say Gayatri is on a trip. She is going to Andaman Nicobar, where obviously she would be staying in some hotel or a resort. So over there, she books a hotel or a resort. So the charges of the hotel or resort will be falling under 12(3) category. Next, let us say Vanshika wants to go on a cruise. Now, what is a cruise? Cruise is a vessel. Correct? Second, let us say Meenu wants to go to Kerala and stay in the houseboat. If you all have seen a houseboat. So again, in these three cases, what is happening? Either you are staying in a hotel or a resort, which is immovable property, or you are going on a cruise, which is a vessel, or you are going to Kerala in such places where you are going to spend 1 or 2 nights and the day in a houseboat. In all these cases, again, the service of giving you that particular hotel room or the houseboat or giving you some place in the cruise is what is called as lodging accommodation service. And again, it is falling in this section. And when it falls in this section, what is the place of supply? Place of supply is place where the property is, or place where the boat is. That is the place of supply. Then comes again accommodation. Now, what is this accommodation? So, simple example. So, let us say Harshal has a wedding of his elder sister, and Harshal is from Maharashtra, but they are doing destination wedding in a big palace in Udaipur. So they have booked a palace in Udaipur. Now, what are they going to do? They are going to stay there, which is again accommodation, but it is accommodation for some function. So over there only all the different rituals of the marriage will be carried out. Plus, they are going to stay there. They are going to occupy that place, the rooms also, the lawn also, the hotels, banquet hall also. So that is what is accommodation for such functions. Similarly, what are other services relating to it? So besides the hotel accommodation, Harshal has also hired an interior decorator. Now, it is not actually called as interior decorator, it is only called as a decorator who will decorate the entire place. He will be providing a good backdrop at the stage. Maybe nowadays people put the LEDs, so some videos of the bride and groom and their family would be shown. So all these things are hired by Harshal in that place. These are services relating to the function. So for organizing the function, you require nowadays all these facilities to be done at that immobile property. And last is any other supplementary services relating to above. So what is the example of this? So let us say you want to go to a hotel because you are traveling. Nowadays, we have got this online, all these websites. But earlier, when we were not having all these websites, we were not knowing what are good hotels. We used to go to travel or tour agents. And this travel or tour agents were helping me doing the reservation in these hotels because they were having connects with these hotels. So they were doing my reservations in these hotels. So these are services ancillary to above. So for doing any of these services, if I take help of some agent or some person who is helping me get any of these services done, in that particular case, the service of that agent will be the ancillary service. Now, all these examples are covered in the same case. Heading is services directly in relation to immobile property. And for all these cases, the place of supply is the place where that hotel is situated, place where that particular construction of that immobile property will be done. In all these cases, the place of supply is very simple. See, in fact, the place of supply concept is very simple. It is the location of that property. Vanshika, wedding planners are not covered here because wedding planner services are not directly in relation to immobile property. Wedding planner will be doing so many things relating to wedding. In that, one of the service would be suggesting you the venue. So Vanshika, wedding planner service does not fit here because wedding planner plans so many things, right from the invitation card till what return gifts you will do. Nowadays, wedding planner plan everything. Gaurav, give me specific example. Renting of goods is a very broad concept. Renting of goods does not come over here because goods are not immobile property. So they will not fall here. So when you are saying goods, that itself take you out of 12.3 because 12.3 is only for immobile property. And the difference between movable and immovable property is that whatever is movable is goods. So anyways, renting of goods will not fall here. Now, interestingly, since there are no other categories from 3 to 14 for renting of goods, so they automatically fall in 12.2, which is the default rule. Fine. Restaurant service, but it is again not covered here in 12.3 because restaurant service is not in any of the above situation. Correct? Anil, it will be 12.2. So all this renting of movable items will all be falling in 12.2. Yes, if you are giving a manufacturing plant on rent, Harshal, like let us say same example of my wine factory. So I'm not selling the wine factory to Rashmi. Rashmi is taking in on rent. So I'm renting out my factory to Rashmi. In that case, it will become renting service falling in 12.3. Fine. Perfect. So students, I hope you all have understood whatever we have studied till now. Now there are some more services remaining from subsection 4 onwards. You will cover it in the next class, but in the meantime, you can also read it. In every service they have given what will be the place of supply. So what is important to be understood is you have to only understand what is the nature of service, like how I'm giving you real life examples. And for that, I'm purposefully taking your names and taking real life examples, because otherwise taking theoretical example A, B, C, D is of no use. So taking real life examples will make you understand. Also now try to take your own examples. Don't take the examples which I am giving or which is given in the module. See, around you, you are having so many transactions happening. Try to find out place of supply for those transactions. Whatever transactions you see around you happening every day, try to find out place of supply. That is the best way of understanding this. And for that, you have to simply first do what? First find out whether it is supply of goods or supply of service. If it is supply of service, whether it is domestic, 99% in your cases, whatever you see around you will be domestic only. Then you come to 12. In 12, out of the list of services, is your case fitting in any of the specific case? If yes, apply the rule of that case. If no, then 12.2. Yes, Nisha.
Sir, in all these cases, it will be intrastate supply.
Kya in all these cases, it will be?
Intrastate supply.
Majorly.
12 of these.
Majorly. Yes, majorly.
Because hotel mean in that state only they will pay the tax, so it will be
Correct.
intrastate in
Correct.
both.
So that is why I said majorly it will be intrastate only. You're right.
Oh, okay, sir.
Manisha has a doubt. Mr. A is architect and is giving service to government of Rajasthan to design a building. So Rajasthan is POS. Correct, Beda. You're right. So place of supply is place where the immovable property will be. If someone has booked destination on a cruise ship and it is moving, that is what is the main point. Now see, nobody asked this. So I'm happy that Vedant, you have asked this question. In case of boat, houseboats are generally stationed at one place only. But cruises, they move from one place to another, and these places can be different states. Like we have cruise going from Mumbai to Goa, from Mumbai to these Andaman Nicobar Islands. Now, in such cases, what is the place of supply? The rule says the location of the ship, but the ship is moving. So, interestingly, we have a specific rule given that where this ship or this place is at different place, the ship is in different states. What you will do? Let us say this cruise is of 3 nights. So you will see how much period the ship or the cruise vessel is in Maharashtra and how much period of time it is in Goa. And on the basis of period of time, you will divide. So this is what is given as a clarification to this. So where the ship is moving, like in case of cruise, the ship is moving. So if it is moving between different states, you have to find out the time for which it is in each state, and in that ratio, you will divide the value. So let us say the entire ship booking is of 1 lakh. You divide the value on the basis of time. So whatever period it was in Maharashtra, that for that period, whatever is the booking amount value, proportionate value, that value place of supply is Maharashtra, and the balance will be in Goa. Right, Vedant? Good question, Veda. Yes, Rashmi.
सर आप सेक्शन 12(3) में डिस्क्राइब किए अभी कि जो मेजोरिटी है इंट्रा स्टेट सप्लाई होगी, बट इफ हैव एनी रिसेप्शन एंड आई बुक इन नोएडा एनी होटल और आई एम इन दिल्ली, देन इट इज ए इंट्रा स्टेट सप्लाई ना, क्योंकि जो प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई है वो तो नोएडा में है और मैं दिल्ली से हूँ, तो इंटर स्टेट होगा ना सर?
बेटा वापस आप आइए यहाँ पे। इंटरस्टेट इंट्रास्टेट देखने के लिए कौन सी 2 चीजें कंपेयर होती है?
लोकेशन ऑफ सप्लायर एंड प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई।
इधर आपका लोकेशन ऑफ सप्लायर समझ में आ गया ना? आप गलती क्या कर रहे हो? आप रेसिपिएंट को देख रहे हो, रेसिपिएंट को मत देखो। इंटरस्टेट इंट्रास्टेट डिसाइड करने के लिए यू हैव टू सी लोकेशन ऑफ सप्लायर एंड प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई, नॉट लोकेशन ऑफ रेसिपिएंट। तो रेसिपिएंट कहीं का भी होने दो, अगर प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई वही जगह आ रही है तो फिर इट विल बी इंट्रास्टेट ओनली। करेक्ट?
करेक्ट सर, सॉरी।
नो प्रॉब्लम। यस मनीषा।
यस सर, अभी मैंने जो आर्किटेक्ट वाला एग्जांपल दिया, इसमें वो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ राजस्थान को सर्विस दे रहा है, तो मिस्टर ए सप्लायर हो गया। तो यहाँ पे मतलब अगर वो दिल्ली से है तो ये इंटरस्टेट हो गई ना फिर।
परफेक्ट, इट विल बी इंटरस्टेट।
तो इसमें मतलब इंटर और इंट्रा दोनों हो सकती है ना?
हो सकती है ना, मैंने कहा मना किया, मैंने बोला मेजरली इंट्रा होगी, मेजरली।
ओके सर।
बट ये केस में इंटरस्टेट होगा क्योंकि आर्किटेक्ट दिल्ली का है और वो स्टेट ऑफ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ राजस्थान को अगर आर्किटेक्ट सर्विसेज दे रहा है और वो जहाँ पे उनको कंस्ट्रक्शन करना है वो राजस्थान ही है, सो प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई इज राजस्थान, सप्लायर इज फ्रॉम दिल्ली। सो ये जो एक्सपर्ट्स वाली सर्विस है ना, केवल वो एक सर्विस ऐसी जो इंटरस्टेट में आ सकती है, करेक्ट।
ओके
बाकी
सर।
होटल एकोमोडेशन वगैरह इंटरस्टेट में नहीं आएगा।
यस सर।
यस दिव्या।
सर जो सेक्शन 10 में कन्वीनियंस वाला पॉइंट था, उसमें हम लोग शिप को इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं, लाइक शिप में जो फूड सर्विसेज
शिप इज
प्रोवाइड
कवर्ड,
करते हैं।
शिप इज कवर्ड, कन्वेंस में एयरक्राफ्ट, शिप, ट्रेन सब आता है।
ओके सर।
तो सवाल क्या आपका? यू आर राइट, कवर्ड इन कन्वेंस।
सर मेरे को पर्टिकुलरली शिप के बारे में पूछना था क्योंकि वो वाटर बॉडीज में हो
शिप इज
जाएगा।
आल्सो, व्हाट इज कन्वेंस? कन्वेंस इज एनी
ओके
मीडियम
सर।
ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट, सो शिप इज अ मीडियम ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट, सो इट इज
ओके
आल्सो
सर।
कवर्ड। ठीक है ना?
ओके थैंक यू सर।
यस। Okay students, so I think we can conclude. We have taken all practical examples for all the possible scenarios that will fit in each of these clauses, where in each clause there are multiple scenarios. I've covered that also, that in one clause if there are different scenarios, I've covered that. So Divya is asking, sir, in section 10 conveyance cases. Yeah, acha, I've answered Divya. Okay. So thank you students. Please read. You can always read the further part also of this session. Yes, thank you very much for all your amazing comments. Thank you all. Please keep reading, and most important rule, take examples around you and then start applying this whole chapter. First check whether it is supply of goods or supply of service. If it is goods, then go to section 10, then find it is which scenario of section 10. If it is service, come to 12, find it is which scenario of section 12. Perfect. Thank you all. Thank you for your comments. Yes, Sushmita beta.
Sir, in the example of cruise, what if the cruise is moving from India to outside India? Then what
Then
happens?
see, again, even if the ship is moving from India to outside India, firstly, you have to check whether section 12 will apply or 13 will apply. Answer is section 12 will apply because the supplier is the cruise company who is also from India. Recipient are you and me who are also from India. So where the ship is moving will make no difference, correct?
Okay.
Now, we are going to study a very interesting point in this section. I purposely did not take it today because I did not want to confuse students. So what you have asked me is given in the proviso to this section, but I'm purposefully not taking it today because it would confuse you all, because right now certain things have got fitted in your mind, but you will get answer when you read the proviso to this section. See, section 12.3, there is a proviso. I have not yet come to this proviso, but your answer is here. Fine,
Okay.
beta?
Okay, sir.
I'm purposefully not taking it today just to avoid confusion. I'm trying to first make things settle and then I'll go to the exception part, right?
Okay, sir.
But your answer is here. Your scenario is covered here.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Perfect, Bina. Akhil Life supplier is in Delhi, recipient Karnataka, but SOP. SOP is what? I think you want to say POS is Haryana. Acha, SOP is Haryana. What is SOP then? Place of supply is Haryana, but the bill amount is paid by recipient in Karnataka. But you are asking SOP. What is SOP firstly? I'm not getting what is SOP. You want to say POS or SOP? Either you raise your hand, I'll unmute you, you ask me question properly because I am not understood what you have typed. But still your answer is not correct. Your question is not correct because you are saying in the first line, if supplier is Delhi, recipient is in Karnataka, but POS is in Haryana. So if you have already decided POS, then what is your question? How can you ask me POS? In your first line, you have decided POS, beta. Meenu Kumari, that is your choice. the amount that you charge, whether it is inclusive, exclusively, that you decide. So you can charge over and above the basic amount. So Akhila beta, you raise your hand, I'll unmute you, because you are in the first line saying that POS is in Haryana. And then in the second part, you are again asking question on POS. Yes, I've unmuted you, Akhila.
Sir, we have the supplier as in Delhi, sir. Supplier is in Delhi. The recipient is in Karnataka.
So
But
let us
the
say you are
service
from Karnataka. Where are you from?
Karnataka, sir, Bangalore.
So you are the recipient, you are the buyer, I am the seller. I am Delhi person, you are Karnataka person. Now tell me.
Yes, sir. But I have another one property in Delhi only. Delhi or some other places in Haryana. Just take Haryana. You are servicing me in Haryana. But
What is the service? What is the service? Firstly, see, define. Because answer will change because 12 has multiple services covered. Na? What service you are talking about? You have to tell me what the service is.
Yes, I have a function. You are like a decorator. Decorations.
Decoration done in some function. Okay, where is the function?
Haryana, in Haryana.
Haryana. Okay, continue.
But I will pay for you, sir. But you are a supplier. I will pay you in Karnataka. I am a recipient, but I have a function in Haryana.
So, firstly, decide which section applies. Firstly, is it 12.3 or not? Firstly, you have to decide the section. Then you'll get the answer. Is your case falling in 12.3?
Yes, sir.
Then answer is simple. It is the location of the immovable property. So if your function is in Haryana, in some hotel or resort, and you have asked me to do interior decoration service of that place, right?
Yes, sir.
So see, answer is very clear. This section is not concerned where the recipient is from. So recipient is coming from any place. The answer is place of supply is the location of immovable property. So if the immovable property is in Haryana, place of supply is Haryana, beta, irrespective of where are you from.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Correct, na?
Yes, sir.
See, please come out of that zone because many of you all are having this confusion that recipient is from this state. Why you are looking at recipient? I mentioned it at the start. If recipient is place of supply, this whole chapter is not required because the answer will be one line. What is the place of supply? It is place of recipient. Full stop. But that is not what the law is saying. That is why you have such a big chapter. So don't see the recipient. See what the law says. Where the law is saying that recipient is place of supply, then only you'll say that, okay, I am from Karnataka, so place of supply is Karnataka. Only when the law says place of supply is the location of recipient. Till then, you'll not see the recipient. Is this fine, beta?
Yes, sir.
Understood now?
Understood. Yes,
Clear?
sir. Yes, sir. Clear. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Yes, Veerashri.
Sir, I have a doubt in the example you gave for section 12, subsection 2.
Okay, tell me.
The CA is located in Maharashtra and he's providing services to a person in Haryana. And the document that she has provided has address in a different state.
One second. Let us say you are from Haryana, I am from Maharashtra. Let us be very clear.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Now, whether you are registered or unregistered?
Unregistered.
Unregistered. Okay. So we come to these two cases. Now, when you are unregistered, whatever service I am giving to you, whether while giving the service, I have taken your address proof?
No, sir.
Do I have your address proof?
If it is in the second case, no, sir.
No, if it is no, I am asking in your example, you are giving me a scenario. I am
Yes,
asking
sir. I have given you the address proof.
Okay. So I have your address proof on record. So you fall here.
Yes,
if the address proof is in my file, I am maintaining that file of yours. Then you are falling here. What is the place of supply? Place of supply is location of recipient. Now it is not.
Sir. So even if the address of the recipient is in a different place in the records,
what is the meaning of different place, beta? What is the meaning of the address is in different place?
I'm located in Haryana, but in my address it is there as Rajasthan. So
correct. So beta, firstly, what is the location of recipient? This is important. So if you have given me address proof which is of Rajasthan, but the law says if you are presently residing in Haryana, you are considered as person of Haryana. Now, this is a very one-off example where you are presently residing in Haryana, but you have given me address proof of Rajasthan. So firstly, if you are giving me address proof of Rajasthan, will I able to do all these things like written filing correctly? Because then your written filing will have wrong records. It will be showing address of Rajasthan, whereas you are in Haryana. So firstly,
sir,
I'll get the address corrected. But still, if I go by your example, if let us say you give me the Rajasthan address only, then the place of supply is location of recipient, and that will be Rajasthan then. But practically,
okay,
this will not happen because I have to correct your location of recipient. But still, if I go by your example,
sir,
theoretically, it will be Rajasthan.
if I'm temporarily residing in Haryana, but my
Then it
permanent
will be
address.
Rajasthan because temporary residence is not called as location of recipient. Then it will be Rajasthan only.
Okay, sir. Okay, got it.
Fine, beta?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. If I'm traveling in cruise from Mumbai to Goa and if I've taken some services in between the two locations. But again, Vishal, this is incomplete. When you are saying I have taken some service, see, until and only name of the service, so many services, and for every service there is a different answer. See, please give me practical questions. Because if only you give me practical questions, I'll be able to give you correct answers. If you say some has no meaning, beta. And you are seeing in this list, for every service, there is a different answer. So when you say some service, what is that sum? Yes, Meenu. Some service. What is that sum? Meenu, you have asked a question. You are asking which tax apply. See, beta, you decide the place of supply. Then what is our rule, Meenu? Our rule is simple. You have to check this. Who is the supplier? Supplier is the company who is running the cruise. If the company who is running the cruise is in one state and the cruise is moving in different state, so it will fall in the second example. It will be IGST. Is in one state and the cruise is moving in different state, so it will fall in the second example. It will be IGST. Meenu, what is your question? My voice is echoing at your end. Fine, students. So I think we have completed a major part with all your doubts. Still, read whatever queries, doubts you further have. I'll take it in the next class. So thank you all. Thank you all for today. Good night, everyone.